Hi everybody, it's Marianne. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm located in Arizona of the United States. Today I'm going to show you how to make this gift card three-dimensional holder, and I got my inspiration from paperpixie.com. I think that's her thing. It's Paper Pixie on YouTube. And I'll have complete instructions on my blog at Marianne's Creative Mix, blogspot.com. Let's get started. So you can do this with pretty much anything that you have. You don't have to have what I have, but I'm using cinnamon something. Cinnamon cider. It's one of the new colors for Stampin' Up! In their color for 2021. Can you believe it already? I know. I missed 2020. So we're cutting this down, so it should be roughly 7 3/4 inches by, I think it's 4 inches. And then I'm scoring this at a 1/2 inch, 2 3/4, 3 inches, 5 1/4, and 5 1/2. Now this is for the gift cards, so Paper Pixie does one for treats for little ones, so you go to her blog and check her out, her YouTube channel too. She does a very nice job in explaining these things. So waiting for the scoring to happen, and of course we're going to make some burnish it. We're going to burnish it. I'm just folding it so you can see that's what you're going to do. All right. So much fun to make these. See, it should end up being equal distance on both sides. Now you cut 1 4-inch by 2-inch. This will be the one side that holds the gift card. And you're going to round your corners on these. Now I have a corner rounder that I've had for ages. Of course, Stampin' Up! Has their own. You use what you have. You're going to do the second one at 4 1/2 by 2 inches. This one is going to use one of our punches that we have, and it makes a scalloped edge with a little holder for some ribbon. It's really nice tag maker. Comes along it's really cute. Let's see that. There it is. And what I do is when I put the paper in, I turn it around. I don't want it to go all the way to the end. I bring it right to the edge of the longest scallop. And then I punch it. Boom. There it is. Getting rid of my scraps so that you don't see a mess. There. And we're going to round the corners. I don't remember the name of this one. If you know the name of it, would you write it in the bottom there? Because I can't remember it. And I do the corners. I like it. It makes it really nice finished. On the other one, I'm going to do it all the way around. And those are, except for the mats, that's all the rounding I do. So here are the mats, and that's going to be 3 3/4 by 1 1/2, 1 15/16. That is one line away from the 2. And so if you get the 2 inches, you're going to just go one line back, and then you have, it's going to be wide enough. I'm just going to round the corner on this one, just because it looks nice. And isn't this paper amazing? I love this paper. It's so pretty. Very different. Can be used for either male or female cards, or not that cards are male or female, but you get my drift. So a very vanilla 1 3/4 by 2 1/4, and that will be for the sentiment. That's going to be on the inside. And of course you're going to want a scrap for the outside. Yes, I'm rounding these corners because they're going to go on the tag, and all the corners rounded makes it look like a finished piece, makes it look very nice. And you're going to attach that to the far right where the ribbon will be. You'll see why when we get further along. So now I'm just trying to find a piece that will fit for the gift card. And here's the trick with that. We don't want it to take up the entire space. We just want it to make a little slip area like a belly band. So this one is going to be 4 inches by 1.5 inches. And that should take it from end to end, but give us a 1/2 inch on both sides so that we can make a little slot for the card to go in. You'll see how to do that shortly. Remember, I'm going to have all this written out on my blog once this video goes live, and you'll be able to get it there. All right, I guess we're checking to make sure I can do it there too. Yeah, because we're going to have another one up on that side. That one goes there. And this is the plaid tidings. Look at all those papers. Oh my God, you have to see it. It's gorgeous. So I'm going to use a scrap vanilla. Yep. And that'll be for the decoration on the outside. All right. That's all the technical stuff. Let's get into making this thing, shall we? Oh, I forgot the cellophane. A 1/2 inch cellophane from the end of a wrapper. You can use a plastic bag too, but you see the wrappers we get our stuff in? They're perfect. They've got that slippiness on them. And all I really need is a 1/2 inch, probably by 8.5 inches long. So I just cut off a 1/2 inch piece here. It actually, our cutting thing writes very easy to cut that off. See, there it is. Now we're going to work with that first because that is the most complicated. You're going to use the end that doesn't have that 1/2 inch side fold. See, there's no fold on that end. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it somewhat in the middle. I pretty much eyeball it. It's a 1/2 inch slot on both sides. I'm making some lines to follow. And we're just going to come in a little bit. This is the mechanism that makes the whole thing work. I'm going to cut in and doing that on both sides. And then I'm going to fold those flaps inside as best I can to be straight. Okay, now this is going pretty fast, so you can slow it down on your end. I don't want to bore you. So we cut that away, right? Make it so that nothing gets hung up on it. And now I have these slots where I'm going to put that cellophane for the mechanism. Now this is where it's not quite complicated, but see, it fits in very nicely right there. Okay, we're going to cut one side of the cellophane, and we're going to put some double-sided tape right there where I just made that cut. All right, make sure it's down firmly. We're going to remove the safety backing, and I'm going to bring the other part around. I'm making sure the ends are in and it doesn't get caught on my cardstock. We're going to bring the other one around. We are not going to make it super tight, but firm. We want enough give in it so that it will go around, but not so much that it falls off. All right? It works. Now we put a second piece right on the outside of that one because that's going to hold the banner or the tag side. Now we're going to go on the opposite side, fold it over, and put a protected piece of tape on that side because that's where the gift card is going to go. This is where it gets tricky. So we're going to make this work, and then we're going to go into that. All right. First, we're going to do this part, and then we'll go back. So I'm going to decorate with Have a Hoot, which is one of our new stamp sets. It's really cute. It has a little owl on it. The owl also celebrates the winter season as well, and the Halloween season. So you can use it for several things. And if you wanted to, you could just, you know, eliminate some of the things, like you could have them in the tree without the spider, or cuddling without the mistletoe, and it will work. There's ways of doing it. All right, so I'm using my blending tools, my blending, whatever you call them, markers, and I didn't have the exact colors that I'm using, but they work. So I am using crumb cake, and see this one here, I'm going to give you a little hint. It dried off a little bit, or dried up a little bit, so I sprayed a little alcohol on it, and it worked. All right, so here we are, back to putting the tag together. So a little bit of glue everywhere helps, right? And then we're just going to attach the tag, the sentiment, to as close to where the ribbon will be as I possibly can, because we want to be able to have it so that it can be seen from the outside. I don't know what you're going to do for the Halloween season, but I think this would be a cute gift to send somebody that you maybe won't be able to see, and give them maybe a coffee card or something. See how close to the right I go? Don't worry about that big left hand gap. It's not going to make a difference. So that's one. Now the other side where the gift card goes, this is where we're going to measure. Putting that in, and I'm going to use a little pencil mark to indicate where I want to glue it. Now the thing is, I don't want to glue the card in, but I do want to have a little slot for it to go in and out of. So by just marking it, it gives me an indication of where I can put the glue. It's pretty straightforward. I'm going to let this go off to the side to dry. And then we're going to move on. All right. Now, notice where the tag is, and that ½ inch needs to come around, and it's going to go under the tag. Okay. So we're going to take off the protective piece of the double-sided tape, and we're going to lay and try to watch where the score marks are so it doesn't get hung up on it. All right, we're going to put a ribbon. I have some twine left over, so I'm going to use that. We can't wait for it to get to be Halloween time, because it is. Oh, here, watch. So see how I did that? I turned it around. I want the right side of the gift card to be attached. So everything's going to be facing the same way. You do want to watch the score lines, make sure it sits in there properly, and then make sure that the tape adheres well. We're going to put the card in now, because it gives me some stability. And then right there, see that? That's going to tuck under the tag. So how I do it is I put some double-sided tape on, and I add glue over it, because that gives it a little wiggle room for me to line everything up, and it really holds it together well. I could probably do glue alone, but I think I don't like it so much. I like doing it this way. And it tucks in, and I just make sure the bottom is square, the sides are square, and hold it there until the glue is absorbed. Now I've tucked it in, and then just use a little pressure. Now, here we go. Oops, wrong side. Turn around. There we go. Now I know exactly where I want to put my front sentiment and decoration. So you could also put another sentiment on the left side on top of the card, the gift card, of course. That's up to you. I don't know if I'm going to do that with others that I'm making. I've made like 4 or 5 of these to kind of get this to the one where I knew exactly what it needed to be. I could replicate it for you. And so I hadn't gotten that far to where I'm actually making gifts to send out. So, but I thought this would be really neat. Perfect, right? Now I'm going to make something to put on the top of that. So we're getting the owl that's in the tree with the spider. And I'm going really, really fast here because, hey, you know how to color. Getting my little owl. He is so adorable. He really is adorable. So much fun. Then I cut it out because I kind of like it when it's cut out. Looks like a little sticker then. Boom, boom, boom. There it is. And then we're going to glue them on there. I hope you enjoyed this because it was fun to make, and I think it'll be fun for you too. So stay tuned. We're going to have more 3D treat holders.